They're not wronging anybody. They are actually righting a situation where a wrong has been done to many people.
You mentioned, not in a direct way, but in a tangential way about this in your book as well, Why Bharat Matters, as to why you believe, and you've made a case for it, it's for up to people to agree or disagree with it, that because of that mentality that you referred to in the first few decades after independence, there were missed foreign policy opportunities, particularly vis-a-vis Pakistan and vis-a-vis China.
And vis-a-vis the US.
And vis-a-vis the US as well. So, but some would say, you know, now you have the benefit of hindsight to make that argument, to make that case. Perhaps in the 50s and 60s, that case would have been looked down upon or may not have been entertained. So, how do you then make the case that, you know, these were missed goals or missed opportunities because there was a certain political bent of mind?
You know, I saw that argument coming and therefore I anticipated it. So,
a good batsman.
So let me tell you. I mean, first of all, I just want you to think of this one very simple fact. You got Pakistan wrong, you got China wrong, you got US right, and we had a great foreign policy. So put that aside. I am not saying today, benefit of 2024, that, oh, let's look back at 1954 or 1950. I'm saying somebody in 1948, 49, 50, 51, 52, as you were taking those decisions, stood up and said, you know, please, Mr. Nehru, what you are doing, have you looked at this aspect of it? So this is not hindsight. These are Nehru's contemporaries who are questioning decisions which Nehru was taking at that point of time. So what are these decisions? I give you three. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee actually contests very strongly the Nehru-Liaquat Pact, saying, look, you are assuming that Pakistan is going to treat its minorities the same way as we are treating our minorities. But the very nature of creation of Pakistan and the regime which has come into being is very different. So how can you possibly make, you know, such a fundamental misreading of these guys? And mind you, this is just 3 years after partition. Okay. Well, a little bit more. The Patel, I'm giving you an example of China. You know, Patel puts in writing that today, for the first time, we are facing a two-front situation. The intentions of China cannot be taken in a positive way. You know, there is much that we have to apprehend. So please do not, you know, have a sort of rosy picture of the situation. What is the answer from Nehru? You know, I cannot conceive that anybody would undertake a wild adventure across the Himalayas. By the way, that's exactly what they did in 1962. So now, if Jaishankar in 2024 says, oh, they got it wrong in 1954, your question is very, very valid. It's not Jaishankar who's saying it. It's Patel saying it on China. It is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee saying it on Pakistan. It is B.R. Ambedkar who says, look, why are you alienating the Americans? If you are to argue, you want to take on the American, I have no problem with it. I just told you foreign policy can be pushed back. At least fight your own cause. We were alienating the Americans on behalf of China. That we were taking up China's cause. And more than anything else, I mean, what an irony. That imagine, in 1950s, we spoilt our relationship with America because we were arguing on behalf of China. So, this is not hindsight, this is not a, you know, a political polemic. I am placing before, especially the younger generations, because they wouldn't be familiar with it. I am placing historical situations, which is what I called a road not taken. That road was available, that road was marked. Those people drew a map and said, don't go this way, go that way. And we consciously chose not to take those roads. Now, I'm not saying there were no-brainers. I mean, there were pluses and minuses. But we need to get out of this, you know, cult worship, that everything from 1946 till pick your year, you know, these were great years and we did splendidly. If anything went wrong, other people were to blame. But, you know, Nehru's foreign policy is such a sort of impeccable theology that even today, whoever comes to power must follow it. And any deviation is somewhere wrong. I think, you know, companies are audited. After all, countries should also be audited, for policies should be audited. People should look at what happened in the past with an open mind, with a critical mind. And by the way, I'm not saying it should only happen then. I'd be very happy if somebody said, you know, I'd like to discuss the last 10 years with you. In fact, that's exactly what you're doing. And please defend your record. I'd be very happy to defend it.
So let's talk about one big aspect of that record, and since you referred to in the previous answer about a two-front situation. Are we not in a two-front situation today?
We have, my friend, we have always been. I mean, it is we who were in denial. I mean, tell me, I'm now asking you as a person, Zaka, at which stage in your life did you actually feel that China was your strategic partner?
I don't think in my lifetime.
No, but yet in 2006, we actually have a declaration describing China as a strategic partner. So I want to say, you know, look, there's a gut sense in society. Sometimes, and I say this as someone from the foreign policy fraternity, sometimes, you know, this is a bubble you have created. Because in the earlier years, it was very much a Nehruvian ideological bubble. Nehru was against America, so everybody was against America. Nehru said China is a great friend, everybody says China is a great friend. So the vestiges of that continue, even today. I mean, you have a concept called Chindia. Okay, I don't, you know, many of you will remember who put that concept forward. So if you actually have reached to think that you're making a sandhi of China and India, and you think we are that close, and our interests are so aligned, I mean, this is a different world. So I would put to you, if you go back, you know, especially I would say to me, 1950s, it was latent. 1960s onwards, especially after the China-Pakistan agreement in 63, and the territorial transfer of Indian territory by one illegal occupier to another, you had effectively the two of them working in tandem. And to me, that is a very obvious basis on which to build policy.